For the final time in 2022, it is a live stream of Sam Houston Race Park. Their second biggest week, Texas Champions Week, is upon us. Only a few weeks of live racing left. Sarah, this is our last chance to live stream, though. We have a pick six coming up. They're a little behind, so we'll get bonus coverage of race three. Plenty of other stuff in thoroughbred racing to talk about as well.
Absolutely. And you are going to be heading to the fairgrounds, so it'll be the last time I see you for a little bit. Both exciting and sad.
Does that mean you're going to be late tomorrow?
I mean, I can be late any day. But you're about to head to the fairgrounds where they have a very exciting Saturday, and we actually recorded a video that will be up later on the Horse Racing Nation YouTube discussing the All Stakes Pick 5. We have a very special guest for tonight.
We do.
Joining us live.
There he is.
There he is.
Look at that smile.
Hey.
Wow, I love it.
Sara Elbadwi.
Oh, yeah, we can take that down because that doesn't match up. This feels like, there we go.
Hey.
Full screen. What's going on, Barry? I don't think
Nothing much.
Spoken person.
I know. I know. Well, we kind of did. We did that one space for a little minute.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But not really formally. This is pretty cool.
And, yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, and I've talked to Sarah before on another live stream, so to speak. So that's cool.
Glad to have you aboard. And as I teased somewhere or other, 23-1, you sent him out with a bang at Tampa, and you and I were on a long shot. I forget which race it was, but you and I were on the same horse, and he actually looked like might make a move on the far turn before flattening out. So
it's probably in the earlier races.
Yeah, in the earlier races. So now we said 6, and by the time we thought we'd be on, we thought that it'd be race 4. But we still have 5 minutes left before race 3. Did you have any thoughts on here?
Actually, I looked at race 3. I thought they would be further along also.
Yeah.
But I think it was Super Legs was the horse that I ended up kind of thinking was a little bit of a standout here. The 4.
Super Legs. That's the number 4.
Number 4. Okay. Yeah, I have as an A as well, and it's 3-1, not the favorite. I don't love the 5 here, who is the 5-2 favorite. So maybe there is an opportunity in this race.
Yeah, I mean that's provided that the odds stay the way they are.
Right.
I think this horse is going to get bet a little bit before post time.
Ed is currently very salty about the odds change in the last race because he was trying to play against the favorite, and the favorite going into the gate is different than who was the favorite crossing the wire. So he's
yeah, I had one a few weeks ago. I think it was the horse was 18-1 and ended up being like 7-1 when they crossed the wire. Yeah, it was really upsetting. I was like, oh.
Yeah, the late money, which I understand, but
it's really bad at Sam Houston, actually. Comparatively, it's bad everywhere, but I've noticed huge changes at Sam Houston where it's like a totally different race. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, and part of my thinking last race was there was a late scratch. The horse was 1-2 going to the gate, and it was the start of the pick 4. So I thought, okay, all that money is going to go on the favorite, and no matter what, the favorite's going to be over bet in the pick 4. So I played. We'll see. Sarah looked on the bright side. She said, well, at least you're live, because had I known the 1 would be favored, I'd be out completely. But you're never looking to go 6 deep and catch a 1-2. So
no, definitely not. That's not the goal.
But
guys, like my curtains? I got new curtains.
I'm more interested in the Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah, well, that's my first love there.
Is that an actual machine, or is it like an emulator in a case?
No, it's the arcade 1-up version. So
okay.
There's like 12 games on it. I'm about to mod it to put like 1,000 games on it, like PlayStation, Sega, all those. I'm gonna put everything on there. It's just got to get a drive for it.
Love it. Yeah, I'm more. I grew up on Street Fighter 2 more than Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, me and Jason Blewett have a standing bet where we're gonna play each other in Street Fighter 2. I owe him a whooping.
Who's your guy or gal?
I kind of use Chun-Li. She's real quick, so
right.
She's my favorite character on there.
Yeah, the speed. Yeah, I was a Ryu guy. That was probably way past your time, those games.
Yeah, a little bit. I have played some Mortal Kombat.
Oh man, making me feel old.
I know. We old playing those ones for sure. It was the Chuck E. Cheese's type place and things like that. So well, they're circling the gate. Barry and I are both on the 4. I like the 8, which is 5-2. So I mean, for me, Sarah, Barry. I mean, if I were looking at anything here, it'd be I'm against the 5, who's one of the favorites. So maybe something to do there. And I didn't mind the 6 at 9-1, maybe a clunk up type horse, but I guess overall, without anything starting here but a pick 3, I'm kind of inclined to pass altogether.
Yeah, I didn't take a look at this race because I thought we'd be a little bit further along with our stream tonight. But who keeps you alive in this pick 4?
2, 4, 6, 8.
Okay, so you
Who
have
do
plenty
we
of options.
appreciate?
Yeah.
Yeah, the eight deserves a look here.
4, 8 twice, so that's doubled up on that. So, yeah, something to cheer for.
There you go.
I've never heard anyone be so upset about still being alive in a pick 4
Well,
than you were.
I mean,
earlier.
when your whole thing is like, oh, I'm going to play against the favorite, and then they're off, and halfway in the race you realize you're not even on the right horse. It gets frustrating. But now I feel like, would cheer for me, which I like.
Yeah.
We're friends. We cheer for each other.
Of course.
Barry and I think, both can relate because we probably have some people out there who would actually be cheering against us if we knew.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much.
Said,
that's okay
though. Game. Not everyone can win.
Right.
Not everybody can play the bad guy like Andy Serling, man.
No, he has the heel to perfection for sure. I would say 4 is 9-5 now. End of the gate. Well, they're not. They're actually walking away from the gate. So the drag is real at Sam Houston. Barry, there's a lot of good racing going on this weekend. Start with the early race, I guess. But are you as bullish on Life as Good as I am?
Yes, absolutely. I'm in total agreement with you. I think he's a super standout. And I just can't see any of the horses in the race that can compete with him. I mean, Hot Rod Charlie has been running okay. I kind of feel like that win that he has over there already is kind of like smoke and mirrors. It wasn't really all that great, and certainly not good enough to beat Life is Good. Off that one race, he just didn't look that spectacular. Plus, now with the rail draw, Life is Good showing super speed. I'd be hard pressed to see anybody coming close to him.
And I haven't even asked you yet, so this is.
I mean, we had this conversation last time when we were talking about the Pegasus, and there was the whole Life is Good, Knicks go debate, and I was like, it's over. Life is Good. He's just faster early. He's a freak of nature. He's too good for a lot of these other horses. And I remember in my very, very early days of being on Twitter at all, and I was talking about the Breeders' Cup, I was talking through different races, and the one that he was in, I was just like, Life is Good. That's it. And I didn't write anything else about it. I didn't say anything else about it. I was just like, he's just too good. There's no point. There's really no other horse around right now that I would say has a shot to beat him.
Wow. Mile and a quarter for sure. I mean, I think Flightline is as good, maybe better, depending on the distance. But
yeah, just getting him on the track is the problem.
Exactly. And then the mile and a quarter, certainly an equalizer, if not, gives the edge to Life is Good, which we'll see for sure on Saturday. I wish, I think a lot of people are sort of in Barry's camp with the others too, Hot Rod Charlie and Midnight Bourbon at this point. I'm sure there will come a race where we both bet him again and he disappoints us. But these just aren't horses that seem to be getting the juice that could make Life is Good an attractive win candidate. So I'll be at fairgrounds and just watch and enjoy.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I think it would take a Herculean effort from someone else that we have yet to see, and for something to go very wrong for him to end up getting beat.
All right. Well, they are going in the gate at Sam Houston, as you can see, and 4 is now 5-2.
5-2, second choice. Well, co-second choice.
What's going to happen when the gates open?
Exactly, and Jay did know that in the double, the 4 is is the favorite. So that typically does mean they'll be the favorite in the win pool, but
Well, now the 8's the
we'll soon
favorite.
see. Now, how about that?
You never know.
Wow.
Huh.
Well, Barry, do you find your style when you did Gulfstream and then Tampa for their day? Did you find you were switching things up, or do you handicap differently when you know it's for public, so to speak, versus your own wagering?
No, I tried not to do anything like that, only because, I guess the allure to having me do such things would be the fact that I kind of shy away from chalk in general. So, you know, um, I think I picked three winners at Tampa, and the lowest one was $15. Um, you know, so that's kind of my style in general. There's obviously situations where you can't avoid chalk. Like even that day, I think I picked Command Performance, who just threw in the ultimate dud, and got and got beat by a speed horse that paid, I think, about $47 or something like
Yeah.
that. So I just thought that horse couldn't be beat, so I kind of started and ended it with that horse. But stuff happens, and but typically I'm not really gonna gravitate towards chalk. I'm gonna try to figure out any way I can to beat them.
Well, can't argue with that, although we all are in agreement with life is good. And I would say watching this race, we were all right about the five,
Yeah, the 5 is
who
done.
is not going to hit the board, likely.
Looks like the
Um,
4 ended up
but
being the favorite.
yeah,
He's
the
dropped
four
to
did
two to
end up the
one.
favorite. I didn't put up the top board. I think the two's gone.
Yeah,
Looks it to me.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, all the way around.
Well, there you go. You're 2, 4, 6, 8, but no 6.
I never play the super anyway, so.
I don't either. I feel like Mark does.
Mark is, yeah, Mark's into the like
Super
the
high
key underneath
five
and the
and
super high five.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know. Super
he
high
gets
five. They roll them at Tampa, right? Every race.
yeah,
Yeah.
he gets creative. Mark gets creative.
Yeah, if you ever ask me like who's gonna finish 5th, I'm like, I don't know. But he has a lot of methods that work for him, so good for him.
Yeah. No, we all have our styles,
Mm-hmm.
idiosyncrasies. So what did the two end up? Fourth choice.
From what I can see, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
5-1.
5 to 1, good price.
Better price than your 7 to 5.
Yeah. Now we're
Now
Now
we're
it's
maybe
cooking.
making something happen here.
Well, it depends on what you got going left.
1 by 4.
All right.
And
See it.
the horse I singled is not the morning line favorite, but I am expecting to be the actual favorite. So
Am I seeing this right? The 2 was 20 to 1 on the morning line?
yeah,
yep,
Wow.
for the next race. Yeah.
for this race.
Oh, for this race.
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah.
So
And for the next race.
maybe you'll play a little bit higher in the pools.
When the 8 does not press the 2, change the whole race. Yes.
True. Yes. Got
Agreed.
easy lead.
Pressure, Sam Houston.
Easy lead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5 to 1 might play a little bit higher than 5 to 1.
Yeah.
Possibly.
No pizza, but
Yeah. Barry, we have a thing in the office that if anyone hits for over $10,000, they have to buy everybody else pizza.
That high?
Yep. Mark has
come
had to
on.
buy us some pizza.
Mark, you hit a super?
He hit a pick 5.
hit a pick 5.
At Gulfstream.
Oh,
That
wow.
paid, what, 25?
22,000.
22,
Yeah.
something like that.
Man,
So.
I need to touch base with Mark again. I haven't spoken to him in a minute. Man,
Yeah,
it's been a while.
he's
Yeah,
around.
that's my guy.
He said to say hi. I just remembered now that we're talking
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. Everybody over there at HR Nation. I mean, with Candace, and I mean, when I was doing work with Derby Wars, they were all there, so I got to know everybody pretty good. And then I went down to when Derby Wars had their it was an on-site tourney. I won into it and had a visit, so It was pretty cool. See the
You've been
offices,
to the
see
office,
everybody.
right?
Excuse me, I didn't hear that.
You've been to the office?
Oh yeah, yeah, yep.
Yeah.
We stayed at the I think it was the museum hotel, 45C, I think. Is that?
Yep, 21C.
Yeah, yeah, it was really cool. Had a good
Yeah,
time.
that's a really. They, I think they get about 1,200 a night at Derby week.
Oof. I could see that though. It was really nice.
Yeah.
I had a
Oh,
great
yeah, these
time.
downtown hotels, they know how to gouge.
And then I think
Ouch.
that after the tournament, it was on a Saturday. We went to Downs After Dark. So I think it was like 10 of us that were there. So it was
Nice.
yeah, it was really fun. I mean, this was what 2015, I think.
Mm.
So it was a while ago, but it was a really good time.
You weren't
That
there
put
the
on
night they paraded Pharaoh after he won the Triple Crown, were you?
No, no, definitely not. I wish I was, but
Yeah, that
yeah, I
was
really liked the Downs After Dark program though. That was really fun.
That's awesome because the only time that I've been to Churchill Downs was actually for one of the Downs After Dark programs, and turns out that Ed and I were there on the same day, even
yeah.
though we didn't know each other yet. So
I
fun
think
stuff.
I think the night I want to say the theme that night was like maybe it was Hawaiian. I don't know.
Mm.
But it was fun. It
Oh,
was it was in late September, so it was warm during the day and got a little bit chilly. I mean, well, you got to take that with a grain of salt because I'm from Florida.
right.
I think everything under 70 is chilly. But yeah, we had a really good time though. I got some pictures in the paddock. You know, my man Joe Christofek was there, and yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, not night racing. I know Churchill takes it cheer alums for various things in the racing community, but the night programs at Churchill are a lot of fun. And opening night is April 30th, so we'll kick off Derby week at night. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. Oaks is a part of Derby week, so before we get to race 4, which starts the pick 6, Space City 6
Space City.
at Sam Houston. The champ is back. The race preceding the Louisiana Derby is the Fairgrounds Oaks. Echo Zulu, 3 to 5 on the morning line. Probably going to be 1 to 5 would be my guess when they spring the latch. And as much as I love Life is Good, who I think will be around 3 to 5, Echo Zulu, I'm not quite as sold on, and she's a favorite. I'm willing to take a stand against. What do you think, Barry?
Oh, as much as I want to like a horse like uh Sequest, it's gonna be tough to beat Echo
Hmm.
Zulu. And the thing is, if there's any time to beat her, it's probably this one. And if they don't get her on Saturday, they're not gonna get her for a little while.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I can understand someone wanting to take a shot here. Even Hidden Connection can bounce back. I mean, she didn't do very much running the last time she was out. I would tend to think that you could probably beat her. I wouldn't go overboard trying to do it. But in order to drum up some value in the late pick 4, pick 5, even in doubles, playing against her might be the thing to do. Just off principle, not actually for the fact that you may or may not win. You know, just in general, it's probably a better idea to play against her, considering my opinion of the next race, which would be Epicenter. I think he's probably, you know, the most likely winner on the card. So
Wow.
yeah, I like him a lot.
All right. Let's take a look. There is the Louisiana Derby field. Sarah and I did a all states pick 5 video. This is the last leg of that, and we both kind of thought rattle and roll, probably an underlay on the outside, 6 to 1, third choice. Just doesn't really do it for me. If Epicenter is actually 7 to 5, I don't
That's
think that's
perfect.
too bad. I'm a little nervous that he'll be odds on. What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people still believe in Rattle and Roll. I think a lot of people still kind of believe in Pioneer and Medina. I think this is kind of the race where Zozos is going to get bet. Call Me Midnight, who already beat Epicenter, is going to get bet. I think you might get another decent-ish price on Epicenter, decent-ish, considering I think he'll still be the favorite. But I think you might get a little bit better than 7-5 on him, and I do also agree that he is the likeliest winner.
No, better than 7-5 is pretty
Yeah,
strong. I think most people don't think Zozos is going to be 8-1, so
No.
that he'll
well,
take.
I'm hoping that people will still kind of jump on the rally and roll hype train. I'm not a big believer, but you know, I just want somebody else to get bet other than Epicenter. I mean, Call Me Midnight, I think, even the line is a little underlaid. I think he was just extremely lucky to win. Because Epicenter in that race, he did win. I think it was the comp, right? Uh, he basically was the beneficiary of the most perfect trip possible, and then almost lost. He won by a half a nose. Um, I guess the only other horse that I could merit a lot of consideration to, other than Epicenter, would be Pioneer Medina. Kind of a new face, but I still think Epicenter is better than these horses.
Yeah, the new face I put on top 8-1. Kapuna, who with Rylu up and Brett Calhoun won this a couple years ago with By My Standards, kind of a similar trajectory. It's kind of an alternative play, but in my head, I'm thinking, well, if Olympiad and Echo Zulu both win,
Yeah, this is
you're in
not going to be
real trouble
ideal.
if you spread in any race and then you're live to Epicenter, you might not get out. So to me, it's kind of zigging and zagging, and if the races chalk out beforehand, maybe Capoon is the one that gives me an option otherwise.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean that's why I opted to go and try to essentially play against Echo Zulu, um, because there really isn't much value, connecting Echo Zulu to Epicenter at all in any pool, any way, any situation
Right.
that's going to happen on Saturday. So I figured she was probably the one that you could beat, coming off the layoff. There's some things that you could hang your hat on maybe a little bit to try to get her beat.
Yeah, I think if there's going to be any time to do it, it would be this one. I just don't know that this is the strongest field to possibly take advantage of that potential opportunity.
True.
To me, Hidden Connection was a little bit disappointing last time out. Maybe she needed it, but I don't really trust her as much. I feel like she's kind of been declining a little bit from what we saw in the Pocahontas, and everybody else. It's like, okay, they'd have to really step up to be competitive with Echo Zulu's 2-year-old form. She doesn't even need to improve from 2 to 3. She just needs to show up again.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the deal. I mean, she's been stellar since day one, so she's going to be tough to beat, but it's not impossible. Obviously horses get beat all the
No,
time.
yeah, and the one that even no matter what, she'd be favored. But sometimes you even money, and you could say, well, you're still half the pool you're eliminating if she wins. But at 1-5, it's a different animal for sure. So I'm leaning more with Barry in terms of maybe she's the better one to go against because of the shorter price, but overall, if it completely chalks out, I'm going to lose. But if a horse like Capuna wins, then I can allow myself some favorites earlier. And if Turner Loose wins, then I'm fine with Epicenter winning.
Right. Speaking of a horse that makes no sense to me in this next race, you have an over 14 maiden as your current 4-5 favorite.
It's got to be early money, right?
I really hope so. But this horse is favored in the doubles as well,
I
so
saw that. Yeah.
Agree.
It's funny.
Well,
Like
my
these
single.
these
Yeah.
races just
Yeah.
frustrate me really badly. Where you have horses that have run a few times and then you have first time starters. Usually I opt with a first time starter, because they don't have any knocks on them. And the horse in this race, in the fourth race, is the 3 Hit One Out is the horse that I ended up on. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, comparatively, you see a horse like Screenplay, the 4, that kind of, you would think would be a standout in this situation. Um, but there's some holes there, and He was 2-1 on the line. He's clearly not too hot on the board.
Yeah,
So
he's not
all the
even
horses that
technical
run
against
don't
the
look all
three.
that great. So I figured the the first time starters might be the way to go, like the 3 and the 7. But I opted with the 3. That would be my top pick here.
I like it. I actually have some data from our first timer report to show on the 3
Oh,
and the
There you
7.
go.
If you want to bring that up.
yeah. Let me.
It's the small one.
This one.
Yeah,
Yep, there it
that's the
is.
one. So as you can see in there, the 3 is the one that you would want out of any of them with the positive. And 7 or 8 with nothing significant changing. So it's not like they're putting the blinkers on. It's not like this horse is the first time gelding. It's not like this horse has been claimed and is changing barns or changing surfaces or changing distances or dropping in class or whatever. It's the same thing over and over again. And this horse is up for 14. Not that anything hasn't changed along the way, but 6 seconds, 2/3, I'm all set.
It's enough for you. Well, 4 to 5. It's obviously a different conversation too than
Right.
second choice. So we lost sound for a little bit. I'm not sure what everyone heard. Did you hear all that, Barry, or no?
Nope, I didn't hear much of it. Just the very end of it.
But we're back.
Here we are.
I see.
Maybe we can't talk over the graphic,
Oh,
which would make no sense.
no,
but...
you know what I did?
Oh,
is
you took us off.
I took us off.
Oh, so we were just staring at the graphic. How could
That's
you?
some graphic. Take us through it.
I
real
know.
quick.
Yeah.
Get the part about your first BMW then.
That was not a good joke. There's just
Well, I
saying that
said to
this
skip it.
bodes well for your pick and hit one out with a positive HRN impact for first timers for Sire Elbadwi. It's steering you away from the 7, and the board is as well.
Yeah.
And that's basically all we said.
Okay.
And that how could you possibly like the 6?
Yes. Well, everyone heard that.
Right. I mean, 0 for 14 at even money, not great, but I also just
There he is.
type of group. I see what Barry's saying too. I mean, it's 7 to 1. I'm not going to talk him off a horse like that.
Do you have a limit, Barry, of horses that have run so many times with nothing specific changing and they haven't won a race yet where you're like, no, I'm good. That's it. No, thank you.
Well, I wouldn't say a limit, but if it looks like they're just, either need a drop in class or, where they're just kind of runner-up finishes or doing the same thing every time, I like to give them at least, 6 or 7 starts for that. But yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, a lot of it is situational, especially comparatively to the rest of the field that they're facing. If they have a line like that, and it's hard for me to take a horse that's run 10 times that hasn't won, that doesn't change anything. So I guess 10 would be my limit, and they'd be like, yeah, you're out of here.
I also think, not that he's the only one that looks at it in this way, but Scott Shapiro is a big proponent of this. When they're losing races that they should be winning or look like they're going to win, that to him, and I mostly agree, is much worse than when they're just overmatched and
Right.
not winning because the horses are clearly better. But yeah, like in this case, this horse is 1 to 2. If he ranges up and then hangs, like he's just never going to win.
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh,
one of the things that I do tend to do a lot, especially with maiden claimers, horses that have already lost at that claiming price. Because usually you get horses that drop in and out. But if they lose at that, at that level, and there's other droppers in the field, I tend to shy away from those kind of horses. Just because, you, or at least in my head, I try to value the drop in class more than the one that's been running at that same level that has already beaten, had a chance, so on and so forth. So, that's something I tend to do a lot. I try to keep away from those types unless they're just so much better than everybody else. But it's all relative to the field they're in.
Well, even though the horse is 1-2, I'm alone among this quartet because Candace weighing in as well. The 6 not for her. I mean, at 1-2, I guess it's not for me either. But my money's locked in. I'm singled in the pick 4, so
1-2, huh?
yeah,
That's not going to hold.
There's no
Somebody
way.
else is going to get bet.
well, it's if that does happen to hold, it's a great opportunity in the Space City 6 to beat a odds on right off the rip. And did you look at the whole card or just the 3 races?
I did go through the whole thing.
Okay. Do you have anyone late that you would advise people make sure they use?
In race number 5, you are off the turf. However, the track is labeled fast, and I think that bodes well for number 2, Dr. Francis, who is 2 for 2 on a fast dirt track, but is 0 for 2 on an off track. So this horse has plenty of dirt experience, is capable of handling the fast dirt, although doesn't like the off track. Not going to be a great price, is 2-1 on the morning line, but out of all the horses in here, if you're looking for a little bit of a price, I would go to the 10 on the outside, Racy JC. One last time out, going 6 furlongs on the dirt, now gets to stretch out to the mile and the 16th. So there's a lot with dirt experience in here that'll do just fine. We know that they can handle it. Going into race number 6, I'm a little bit interested in the 10 on the outside, Man Above, 20-1 on the morning line. Carl Broberg claimed last time out when he won on debut for $10,000 and now puts him in allowance company. So I think that's a little bit of a curious move, and the horse does have some early speed, so I'd want to include at a bit of a price. In race number 7, you have 2 MTOs that do draw in with Happy Sailor and Lady Fly Like Jet. Out of those 2, I would use the 2. Happy Sailor. I would also use the 10 Roll Baby. This is a 3-year-old facing older, but she debuted against Martime, which is the impeccably bred Have To, Into Mischief, Beholder, Mendelssohn, etc. So obviously this is not the likes of that kind of pedigree that she'll be facing in here. She was in a stakes race last time out at Delta. Maybe she didn't like the off track in her last 2 starts. Now gets a fast track again. And then in race 8, I didn't really do an in-depth analysis. I kind of just flipped through and looked at figures and pace and some things that took less than 2 minutes. So I would go 1, 3, 4, 6 in race 8, and then 3, 5, 8 in race 9. What?
One that stood out. I didn't really, handicap this too well, but in the 9th race, I kind of like the 4 a little bit, especially now that it's off the turf. I'm thinking that this horse is probably going to take some money though. Same thing with the 10. I think the 10 might take some money too.
You got the blinkers off and the first time gelding angles for those respectively.
I'm amazed that I think between the 2 of you, you mentioned 6 horses and 5 of them are nowhere on Josh's ticket.
I know, I saw that. I'm surprised Josh didn't have the 4
that just
on that
means
ticket.
it's, a pretty open pick 6. So, no matter what.
Finding some value.
Right. No matter what stab you take, even I agree with Josh, who singled I think that horse is 3 to 5 on the morning line. The 3 in race 8. Even away from that, it's still a 50-cent pick 5, and you're all over the place. So I found race 7 to be very difficult. My A's are all 8-1 in the morning line at least, but that's for turf. So who knows what kind of action they'll take on the main track. But the surface change did not help matters in that race.
Yeah, I think it didn't really change anything in race 5 either. They all pretty much have dirt experience too. So
Jay is singling my top pick in the last race. I'm a little deeper myself on my pick 5 that starts next race, but we're simpatico there at least. And I actually think if I had any sort of opinion, race 7's the kind where it could be fun to single because I think so many people are going to go deeper there with so few scratches off the turf, wide open race. But that's a spot you can single. You can definitely separate elsewhere, perhaps. So interesting pick 6. I'm gonna lay off though. It's too tough for me, and I don't want to start with an odds-on single.
No, that would be silly.
But I'd be live in the pick 4 if it wins.
Well, don't you have another horse in here too?
No.
This is it?
This is it.
Oh, Ed.
Single city in the space city. Yeah.
Someone asked earlier if the Sam Houston pick 6 was a jackpot. You answered them already, right?
Josh did.
Okay, good.
But
just wanted to make sure.
I will echo and say it is not a jackpot. The super high 5 is a jackpot. So, well, we're gonna pay a bill real quick.
Your career in horse racing off to a fast start? The University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
How about that?
You in the winner's circle.
Pete. Announcer Pete.
He's an alum.
He is an alum.
Did you see the
Fletcher too.
travesty today at Gulfstream Park of the birds?
Oh my God, yeah, that was shocking. But I was thinking, there's so many places. I don't know if either of you've ever been to Gulfstream, but there's like so many other places for birds to hang out. I don't understand why they were right there at that time. It's crazy.
I've never seen a flamingo. I remember there was one race a while ago where Pete was like, "Look out, goose."
One thing I can tell you, or two things I can tell you about flamingos: they stink and they're loud.
What do they smell like? Shrimp?
I don't know. It's such a distinct smell. It kind of smells like, I don't know if you've ever been to Orlando, but the water in like the tourist area has like really smells like sulfur. It's kind of that plus, nastiness, and then they're very loud, and they just.
I don't think I've ever heard a flamingo make a sound.
Yeah,
they definitely make noise.
What does it sound like?
I'll post a
no, like imitate it right now.
flamingo sound. Oh no. No, you don't want that.
Now yeah, 5, so that's worth betting, right?
I still don't like this horse. But I mean, that's a better price for you. Yes.
Yeah.
Still got 2 minutes.
Right, and then the gate.
That horse might end up being 2-1.
Right. And now the 4 is 5-2. So.
Barry's pick is the 3, holding sway at 6-1. What about the 5?
I think this is a turf horse.
The 5?
Yeah, I looked at all the efforts on the turf. They just seem better than the dirt ones. So I kind of tossed this one pretty early on in my handicapping.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being live with the 5, but I'm not, so.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
If I were spreading against my top pick, I would use the 5.
I wouldn't. I would use the 7 before I use the 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
7 doesn't look all that bad.
Candy.
Oh no. I was actually just thinking of asking Barry what his favorite candy was, and then I was like, I'll wait until like this race is over. But then you brought it up. So Barry, what is your favorite candy?
It's kind of a tie between Swedish Fish and Chico Sticks. I don't know if you know what those are. Yeah. It's kind of like a Butterfinger without the chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really good. What is Butterfinger anyway? Nougat?
No, it's like a peanut buttery type crunch.
Yeah. What's the crunch is what I'm having a hard time. Wait, I guess a wafer, right?
Yeah.
No, it's like a. Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know if you know what a Fifth Avenue bar is.
I mean, I've had a Fifth Avenue bar.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of the same thing. They're pretty similar.
I'm surprised Josh didn't weigh in with his favorite candy.
I'm just impressed that you're calling him by the right name finally on the last Sam Houston live stream. It only took this long.
He's earned it.
Josh.
He's earned the respect.
He's earned his name.
Yes.
Poor guy.
I'll probably get it wrong at some point, though.
Remember how I said in my video with him that we'd never mess up his name again? You had
And
just
then the first,
messed up his name.
That's bad. But it's because there's someone else in the Discord that does a
This is
podcast.
a whole different thing.
I know, but man, they sure do drag at Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. But they're trying to get that pool up. You see,
And then
That's
switch
true.
it up.
Yeah,
right.
that pick six pool isn't paying the bills.
No.
We paid the bills though.
With your racetrack industry program. I feel like we got a lot of things that pay the bills, including our picks.horseracing.
Oh, did we even? We didn't put up the.
Oh, we didn't even do this yet.
Yeah.
Oh, we got our power picks going. What percent success rate have we got with these?
At Sam Houston, it was 38%, although last week wasn't as good, so it's down to like 36.5. So.
I mean, that's still pretty decent. Flat bet
profit
of the top power pick at Sam Houston, and these were free all meet. So if you just bet the number one power pick in every single race, you would have made money.
Right.
That's some cool stuff.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Doesn't always work out that way, but yeah, for Sam Houston.
Does Shuddy still make picks?
Yeah, he does Super Screener.
Oh yeah, that's my guy, man.
Candace would love to tell you about.
Oh, that's my guy. He's a great dude.
I did a video with him about the Santa Anita pick six last week, and we had a blast chatting. It was supposed to be about 10 minutes, and then I looked at the clock, and it was 20 minutes, and I was like, well, that's fine. Like, we can just keep talking. So we had a good time.
So easy to talk to. He's a good guy, man.
Yep.
I like him.
Ed said when it's natural, it's natural. So
That's right.
Go.
finally
Look
going
at this. They're going in the gate.
Going in the gate. Yeah, you know what? I'd say at 20-1, I'm on the 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna bet.
You want to bet ahead?
I'm gonna bet 2 to win. I get the 5 and you get the 7.
How about I take the 2 over the 5?
The 2.
Yep.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fair, right?
Yeah.
Similar odds.
We just never mentioned the 2. So
we mentioned the 2
we
very
did?
early.
Oh yeah, Casey's first BMW.
Yeah, and then you made a joke about it, which no one heard, thankfully.
Well,
hey, there's the super screener info.
Yeah.
What, Barry?
There's the super screener info. I see it.
Oh, perfect.
Oh yeah.
Bring it up. Awesome stuff. They pointed out Call Me Midnight in the LeCompte, was it?
Oh yeah.
Yep. When he was a nice price in there.
Right. Perfect trip though, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the time to have him.
You're right.
I don't think you're ever gonna get that again.
No, definitely not. So, yeah, I mean, you got that from the Super Screener. You got Un Ojo from me. You're rocking these Fairgrounds Derby preps and the Oklahoma.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, and then if you get Kapuna.
Yeah, or so.
It's a trifecta. That's a trifecta.
You come up with on your own anyway, but yeah, it's almost like we're kind of good at this job sometimes.
First time starter given some fits.
Mm-hmm. Well, this trainer is, I think, 0 for 5. Or no, sorry. The sire is 0 for 5 with firsters. Sock Hop. Ever heard of that one?
No.
I haven't either.
Sock hop?
But I do love sock hop fashion.
I don't know what that is.
Isn't that like those bobby socks and poodle dresses thing?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
You got to turn off the race or we're not going to be able to pay any bills.
Shut you down.
Ellis Starr is watching.
Yep. Well, this 7 was a good bet against, it's looking like.
Nah, I've fallen into that trap before.
I would say I would be willing to call that shot now.
Oh wait, I have the 5 though, not the 7.
Right. I have the 2.
Yeah.
2's
Well, I
running.
guess I should have stuck with the 7.
Well, man, I'm gonna have to go to Costco to.
Pick up a lot of candy.
Yeah, I mean, this is a perfect example of a race. If the 6, I mean, he's just never gonna win.
Yeah, if he doesn't get this done.
No, he's not. I mean, couldn't even range up.
Yeah, fizzle.
2nd though.
Again, the 7th second.
Will Rogers Downs is calling.
Well, I guess I should have kept the 7 over the 5 because the 7 did run a lot better than the 2, but the 5 still finished last. So it's a turquoise.
Last.
Yeah, but I just needed to beat 1.
Well, you should have gone with the 1 then, I guess.
Right. What was the 2? 3rd?
Second last.
Oh. It's a good head-to-head then.
Yeah, evenly matched for last place. So now you owe 2 things of candy.
No, 4.
4?
So I lost double or nothing last week.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
So you get like the Costco or Sam's Club version
have to
of the
now,
candies,
yeah.
or just like a pack.
The Batto candy.
I'm gonna need like a gift card.
We
or
both
something.
like sour candy, so at least it's easy to.
Okay, yeah, I can deal with sour. See, I'm kind of a sugar connoisseur, so like
Oh.
I like desserts and stuff like that.
What's your favorite dessert overall?
Ooh, I gotta say bread pudding is probably my
I feel like
favorite.
that's something that's really easy to mess up.
It's actually really easy to
For me.
make.
What's that?
It's easy to make.
Hmm.
You know, just breaking up some bread, pouring in a little, mixture of like milk and eggs, putting it in the oven.
Oh.
What's easier than that?
Right?
Oh.
I think the hardest part would be like making like a sauce to go on it, or making your own whipped cream.
I was gonna say, is that why everybody just buys the bread and the milk and the eggs at the store when there's a snowstorm? Make bread pudding.
They should.
Is that what they're doing?
Well, they're always just buying the bread and the milk, so it's like, what are you making?
French toast. No, you need eggs still.
Yeah.
I saw something on TikTok earlier where somebody put a cracked egg on a piece of toast and put it in an air fryer for like, I think 2 minutes, and then put cheese on it and put it back in there for another 2 minutes. Look good. Like something quick and effective.
So they crack the egg.
Yep. Put the egg right on top of the toast, put that into the air fryer for 2 minutes, and then put cheese on it, put it back in, and then eat it.
Yeah.
That sounds okay.
Have you ever put everything bagel seasoning on eggs?
No, I saw that somewhere, and it sounds interesting. I might want to try that.
I don't. With scrambled, it's not as good, but with the fried egg, with the white part still.
The Trader Joe's everything,
Yeah,
the bagel,
exactly.
yeah.
I've also seen an ice cream sandwich with everything bagel mix or whatever it is on the outside.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I don't know either. Yeah, I've seen it. I don't know how good it is, but I guess people try anything once.
Well, twice the price. It seems like he's never going to try winning once. So.
Well, the 2 first-time starters are in 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
That they did.
The 7 ran better than the 3. So never mind with the HRN first timer report. What they
Never mind. Yeah.
What?
I mean,
really steered you away from the 7.
Never
really
threatened to win.
3, so.
Yeah.
Maybe the better
try is very good, considering.
Well,
96-1 pick 3.
Take that.
That's considering that first leg is the equivalent of probably 2 to 5.
Payout that Sam Houston are great with the low 12% takeout.
Yeah,
so
that's key. Well,
good stuff over there.
Was there a scratch?
There was
Yeah,
the heavy favorite
that's
in the
with the scratch. So yeah, that's not too bad with the scratch.
Look who got lucky. Was out.
That's who scratched?
Yep.
How'd your horse do earlier?
Oh, I should check.
Oh, you don't even know?
No, it was at the same time that we were coming on air, so I didn't
Oh, it was that late in the day. I thought it was
Yeah.
later.
I'll find out now.
My
though.
bad.
Let's see what happened.
Well, in the meantime, if you had a chance to look at this race, Barry,
Yeah,
It's presented
absolutely.
by Horse Racing Nation.
that's right.
Absolutely. You know, of course the Sacred Life's going to take all the money here. Santon is a horse that really kind of bothers me because it seems like this horse would be better. And I'm not really particularly enthused about that draw, although I do like that horse. But this is one of the races I thought that, a price could, like a decent price could happen.
Yeah.
The top three horses, Devamani, Sacred Life, and Santon, they're not that much better than the rest of them. Captivating Moon has some form to go off of, previously, and he's a healthy 15-1 on the line, and he's probably not going to be bet too much either. So that's one that I might, kind of key in on and try to beat one of these favorites in this race. Two Emmys too is another one that doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, 10-1. Kind of, it seems like the shine's off a little bit.
Was it ever really on? I mean, he beat
Domestic
Domestic Spending, and then it was on. But,
Right.
But
Yeah,
he's one race.
But he's been 3 or 4-1, and now he's back into double digits.
Yeah, but I mean, he hasn't really done anything that differently. He just has some early interest, but I wouldn't say it's even real speed.
Right. Yeah. No, fair. No, I like Santon too.
Yeah, Santon
too. I mean,
the
draw isn't great, but with
yeah.
the Chads, I think he'll be 7-2 minimum.
If he's 7-2, he's definitely worth a play. I mean, I like him better than the other two. If I were to pick one of the three favorites, I would go with him.
Yeah, me too. Who did you use?
I like Cavalry Charge in here. I included him on my pick 5 ticket last time he ran when he was 35-1 and went from the one hole and just set the pace and held on. To me, it's kind of like a lot of the same cast of characters all over again. He's already beaten 40 under. He's already beaten 2 Emmys. He's already beaten Santon. The 2 Chads come in and they're both closers. And so that doesn't really shake things up on the front end as much. Another mystery comes in after dead heating at Sam Houston, another closer. So it's like we've kind of seen this script happen already. So I think that he could be the one that sets the pace again. He does draw inside the other horses that might have some early interest, like 40 under and 2 Emmys. So I think it kind of sets up perfectly for him again. If he's going to be 10-1 or higher, which he's going to be a decent price because the Chads will take money, I want to use him again.
All right. Well, to our point, Steve remembers 2 Emmys big win, which technically wasn't the Arlington Million.
The Mr. D.
The Mr. D, but the Arlington Million again this August. But yeah, I think he'll be 10-1, Steve. I mean, the Chads have to take the money that they're listed at. I agree with the morning line there. So yeah, if you're a believer, you'll get it. Now
the Arlington 600K.
Yeah, the 3/5 of a million. So. All right, yeah, that's the Munez presented by Horse Racing Nation. I'm on the 9, as is Barry.
So you're going to be presenting the trophy, I assume, right?
Yes, Ed personally.
Normally that's how it works, but because it is a memorial, I did demur to the family of.
Oh, that's nice.
The name of the race, yes. I just feel like that's more appropriate.
But you'll be in the winner's circle, right?
I'll be in the winner's circle.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll spit shine the trophy for the winning connections. And I'll be on the simulcast with Joe.
Okay. Like old times,
renewing our good times together.
That's cool.
So looking forward to that.
We have a special Munez Memorial video that's going to be coming out tomorrow with some exciting guest handicappers, including Jeff from Charting Horse. I I got Matthew on, who's at Mail to Menace on Twitter, who used to have the Win Play Show. I have Rennie doing some fun.
Rennie time.
Yep,
Rennie time.
absolutely. He's
Smoke,
going to be
smoke.
on there. We have Kevin Kilroy. We have Scott Shapiro. We have you and I. We still have to record that.
Mark.
Jeez, you guys are busy.
Mark, we could do Mark. It just has to be by tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think we have enough.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say if we added anyone, be good to get another female perspective.
I just hope Joe is going to treat the dinner in New Orleans.
I'm eager to see how it goes because when I worked at Churchill, I had a very liberal expense account, and I picked up every meal, and that gravy train has been derailed for me for obvious reasons. So hopefully someone can pick up the slack.
That's Joe. That's where Joe steps in. He get you
I
some of
mean-
those char grilled oysters, and you're all set, man.
Yeah, that's a good thing New Orleans is a great town. You could spend a lot of money on a nice meal, and I'm sure several are worth it. But I mean, there's tons of smaller joints that you don't need to go all
I
out.
need to break the bank.
Right. But I do miss the days of $800 meals in Vegas on the company dime.
Well, there's Jess. Maybe I'll ask her because she obviously has a ton of free time to get a video done by tomorrow.
For a rate, well, she's doing the Sam Houston now.
She is.
Yeah, she has less time.
I know. I'm joking.
Oh.
She's very busy.
Well,
Clearly.
we're all busy.
She's actively very busy.
Yes.
Actively busy.
Yeah.
Actively.
We're
Well, I'm more of a
Yeah.
passive
sitting
busy
down.
guy. I'm a passive busy person.
Yeah, exactly.
I appear to be busy, but I'm really not.
Who did you like in race 7, Barry?
Race 7. Let me take a look. Oh yeah, Happy Sailor got in, right? That was the horse that
That's the 13.
I think he's gonna be tough.
Oh, the 2.
Or she, right? That's a she.
Yeah.
Yeah, the MTOs seem maybe to dominate. One horse that I did take a second look at, and let me check to see if the horse is still running, is the 11 at a price. The Badger. I'm a Badger.
Wow. The 11.
Yeah.
What do you like about this one?
I think, I'm not really sold on this horse being like an all-out speed horse, and I think this horse is fast enough to be closer to the pace, even though the speed figures don't kind of add up. I think coming off the turf is probably a better thing for this horse rather than running on the turf. Yeah, it's a tough race because it seems like there may be a log jam up front, and I think this horse can sit off the pace, especially from the outside. Gives her a better chance.
Yeah,
But 5-year-old with only two races, there's always the question mark. But
right.
at 20-1, why not?
I like it.
Josh is live in the pick 6.
He is.
As is, I believe, Jay.
Good for them. Staying alive at the Space City.
Yeah.
The favorite.
I do have the pace report if we want to pull it up to see
We
who
do.
is projected for not only this race but also race 7. See what the Horse Racing Nation pace report thinks.
Now this is, I will say, for those watching,
This was still on the turf.
it was turf, but the way this is calculated with so few scratches, it's still fairly applicable.
Okay.
Now the difference is if most of these horses typically run on turf, then it's still considering turf racing.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, the run styles and the way it compares who's in the race and who's not, since there are so few scratches, and the fact that especially race 7 is now 5 furlongs on the dirt,
Right.
I want to know,
Who's gonna be
that's
around.
all speed, right?
And it is the highest rated of the evening. So logjam.
So that means that it's like I thought, where there's a ton of speed in here.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Definitely.
So what's the confidence number?
It's kind of like with how much confidence they're making that prediction.
Oh, okay.
Whether this is going to be a fast or a slow pace, and then the projected leader, obviously, like who we think is going to be on the front end, and then lead probability. That's just how likely that seems, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, confidence is there's enough races and samples to say they run this style, and then lead probability is sort of confidence for that specific data point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So less confident that Haley's Melody will be the one on the lead, but supreme confidence that the pace will be
Very fast in here.
salty, if you will.
Such a great word.
It's supposed to be pretty slow for the next one, though.
Yeah, and then even slower for, and it was slow last race, which those are just not good horses.
Well, I mean, when you have an 0 for 14 maiden as your
Who's 4 to
heavy
5.
favorite,
Yeah, no, that's
it's not good news.
yeah.
No. But back to this race.
Well, nobody likes the horse that I like in
Who
this
do you
race.
like?
Oh, they scratched him. That's why. That makes a lot of sense then.
That'll do it.
Yeah,
Why?
I like the one. That was my original pick, but
Hmm.
unfortunately, that leaves me on my second choice, which was the 2. And they don't like him either. So I see Jay and Josh Sands 2 on their ticket.
Are they Sands too?
Yep.
I like the 2 quite a bit.
Oh.
So,
Do tell.
well, I did in my very quick preview when you were like, oh, who do you like for the rest of the sequence? But I'll talk through it again for everybody brand new and exciting that's joining the stream. This race is 2 for 2 on a fast dirt track, 0 for 2 on an off track. So I could say maybe just doesn't appreciate the off going. But a lot of these do have dirt experience. She's shown that she's fine with handling the distance and being on the dirt. Oh, sorry, not the distance. I was gonna say I'm unsure if she wants to go this far. There was somebody else I was looking at quick. She did not do so well at a mile and an eighth last time out on the turf, but that was also against tougher company. She has run a mile though, so I mean the mile and the 16th, it's not that much of a big difference. She also has won at 7 furlongs, so it's not like she's only been sprinting. I also kind of like the 3. She's won 3 times on the dirt. She has a win last time out, however, that was going a mile on the turf. That was at the $25,000 claiming level for non-winners of 3. This is now non-winners of 4. But I think either the 2, 3, 4, or 8. I would say obviously you're getting your best value with the 8 in here now at 6 to 1 over these shorter priced horses. But I'm kind of surprised that the 4 is such a short price in comparison to the 2, 3, and 4 because I felt they were all pretty equally matched.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I like the 3 and 4 better than the 2, but I am surprised the 4 would be 8 to 5 versus the others.
One thing I noticed about the 3, at least from the running lines, and I didn't look at the replays, but it seems like this horse, when this horse gets headed or even pressured on the lead, kind of folds. You see the race on January 13th, kind of had a little battle there and just kind of packed it in. Same thing way down back September 24th, 2020 at Remington. Kind of did the same thing, but all the other times kind of had her own way and sealed the deal. But it just depends on what the other riders do. If that one gets loose, they're gonna have a hard time catching her.
Yeah, well, I think that's an interesting point to bring up with how the pace looks to project because if everybody kind of goes, then she's less likely to get her own way. And if she's going to be the one to not handle any pace pressure, then that does give the edge to everybody else.
Yeah, it's stuff like that that I use, when I was talking about earlier, any kind of thing to kind of dismiss a short price horse. That's one thing that I will do, is something like that will stick out and I'm like, well, you know what, I'm gonna just gamble on the fact that this horse should get pressured today. That's where the gamble is whether or not you think this horse will get pressured.
Are we speaking of the 4?
The 3.
The 3.
Or 3.
Haley's Melody, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 looks spelt.
What does that mean?
Lean.
Yeah.
Lean, skinny, thin. Very
I feel like a
small.
lot of Steve's
Slight.
horses kind of have that look because he does the braids so often on the neck, so it makes them look.
Like Monero.
Yeah.
Ah,
Like I
never
can
thought
always
about
point out a Steve Asmussen horse because of the braids.
For me, it's when it comes across the screen and says trained by Steve Asmussen.
It's also a tell.
Yeah. Gives it away every time.
Yeah, there's a lot of horses that you can tell who trains them by how they look.
Yeah, I hope Jay's right.
7 is going to at least push the 3 here. Yeah, I'm been writing down some combos here. I haven't decided how I'm going to play this pick 5.
Well, you have 4 minutes, and the pool is much better than the pick 6 pool.
A lot healthier. Well,
Yeah. That was a tough pick 6.
Yeah,
Although Josh and Jay are both alive.
they are.
The double J. JJ. Jimmy Johns.
What did you call it earlier?
To Matt?
Yes.
Yimmy Johns. It's always
Why?
funny when you make the J silent. Like Silent J.
Okay.
But it's Silent Bob, right? Jay and Silent Bob.
I don't know.
You know those movies. Clerks and...
oh man, she doesn't know those.
No, I don't.
Really?
No.
Before her time.
Oh. Now,
What?
rebuke me if this is inappropriate.
I'm sure it will
But
be.
I'm surprised you have not seen Chasing Amy.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
what
that's before her time too.
Coming of age.
That's right in our wheelhouse.
Sexuality movie.
Maybe I'll check it out.
It was, I mean,
It's worth a
Mary
look.
Maker's
See,
Mark plays with everybody.
I forget what it is.
You don't forget what it is.
Honest to God. Write it down.
Okay.
Because if
I don't
you
have a
say it,
pen.
then it loses the luster.
It really does. This is important stuff.
Yeah, and the Maker's Mark quiz. I really can't remember. I mean, I know you're referring to something that I should know. I don't mean to say that. Yeah. 248 for Evan.
see
Now,
see Evan on Twitter a lot.
oh.
I cannot mention it.
No, you can say that.
No, it's fine. The moment's over.
That's
It's more
true.
fun if we keep it a mystery.
Yeah, we'll keep Barry to know so he doesn't think offline, so he doesn't think it's referring to anything like that. About him, I mean. I am disappointed that Sam Houston still is showing this as on the turf.
Where? Oh, what it says right there, turf off.
Right, but that's clearly a conflicting message.
No, it's not. You know, if it says off the turf anywhere, it's off the turf.
But what? Okay.
What?
Now I see. By saying claiming turf, you know it was scheduled for the turf.
Yeah.
Because just saying off the turf doesn't mean it's this race that's off. It means you're off the turf for the day.
Oh, yeah.
But now you know.
But now you know that this was a regular scheduled program for the turf and is now off the turf.
Oh no, that's kind of confusing.
See?
But would you have noticed it if he didn't point it out?
No, I would not have.
All right. I don't know.
Because it's highlighted yellow. If it wasn't yellow, you know, you could kind of.
Right.
Right, like if it said track fast and that was highlighted yellow.
Yeah, what's with all the yellow going on? Like random though.
I don't know.
Yeah,
5 is yellow.
We'll pick 5 like
Maybe it's just the Sam Houston colors because they got the green and the yellow.
No, I don't mind that there is yellow, but there just seems to be no rhyme or reason to what is yellow.
Well, the favorite is always in yellow.
Yeah, but that's a different shade of yellow.
It is.
That is pale yellow. You got
Yeah.
the golden
It's almost a
rod.
golden rod.
Hey, see?
The things we talk about.
Old guys have the same nomenclature.
Right.
Barry, I don't think of you as Ed's age.
I think I'm older than Ed.
No way.
I'm 42.
Yeah, I'm older.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think of you as younger for some reason.
I mean, he definitely looks younger.
He's just cooler than me.
The Mortal Kombat gave it away to me. I'm like, okay, he's definitely.
Yeah, that's usually the tip off.
Yeah.
And some of my
And
movie
you've seen
choices.
Chasing Amy.
Right, exactly. Movie choices, television.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, I was a big movie guy because when I lived overseas, that's all I did was watch movies.
Mm.
Where did you live?
Where didn't I live? That's the
That
question.
one?
England,
Were you,
Australia,
military
Ireland. No, I played basketball for about 6 years, early 2000s.
Ah.
So I was kind of bouncing around all over the place for, place to place for a few years at a time. But other than not eating the food wherever I was at, I watched a lot of movies. Yeah, I tried to stay away from food.
So would you get like just processed stuff you could make yourself?
Yes, or my mom would send packages over with stuff in it,
That's
stuff I
nice.
liked. Yeah, I lost a lot of weight. The last place I played when I got hurt in China, and I didn't really want to eat any of the food there, and I lost like say about 20 pounds. Came back, Typically I'm, right now I'm probably overweight comparatively with when I played. So I was probably about 195 pounds then. And then when I left China, I was about 175, probably less than that.
That's crazy.
But when I got home,
Put it all
trust me,
back?
I put it all back on. I ate, didn't leave my
You like
house for a
food.
couple months and just ordered out food all the time.
Hmm.
Well, we have some breaking news here. The 7 is out, which
Might change the pace.
yeah, if the expectation was that was going to be the one to press, that changes things dramatically.
Yeah, I mean, I have the 2, 4, and 8 as all stalkers, so somebody's gonna have to get a little more active early.
Charles, he's swinging again.
He's here with the
Now
boom.
Barry last week, Charles, what was that horse? 20-1.
Yeah, I think 21-1.
Yeah.
It was a number 3 horse. I don't remember too much about it other than that.
Charles came correct.
Charles knows what he's doing out there, so
I'm gonna bet.
good.
Yeah, pick 5.
Barry, do you have a pick 5 going?
Do we lose Barry?
Where's Barry?
Maybe when I'm betting, his sound cuts off.
Like an interruption to the feed. It's too much energy.
The
Having
deposit
some
of shame
headphones.
after out of the pick 4.
Yeah, having some headphone problems. Barry, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
All right. Yeah. No, I do not have a pick 5 going, but I do see Charles in his 20 WP on the 6 at 20-1. I guess there's with the latest scratch, that's probably not a bad idea.
I mean, there's nobody really in here, so might as well take a shot.
Problem is his 20-1 is now 18-1 and probably gonna go lower.
I'm gonna be 10-1 by the time the race is over.
Don't mind me.
Yeah, that's what you got to do, Sarah. You got to watch those movies. You gotta hook up those movies. Those are classics, like
I'll have Ed make me a list.
Clerks, Chasing Amy, Jay and Silent Bob,
Have
Strikes
you ever
Back.
seen the Clue movie?
Which one?
The Clue movie?
Oh yeah,
That movie's hilarious.
Tim Curry.
Tim
Yeah.
Curry. Yeah,
That's one of my favorite.
Martin Mull was in that movie. He's
Who?
Colonel Mustard.
Yep.
Who is?
Martin Mull.
Oh, the guy that was in Roseanne?
No, this is well, maybe he was in Roseanne. I don't know. He was in that, and
Or was Martin Mull the Night Court guy? Who's that?
let me Google him real quick. Just to make sure I get the right guy. I thought his name was Martin Mull, but he was Colonel Mustard in that.
I actually watched that movie not that
Yeah,
long.
it was him. Yeah, it was Martin Mull. I got it right.
But what else has he done?
Let's see. His filmography.
Are you in Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Not IMDb. All right,
Mr. Mom, that was the one.
Yeah, I think he was in Roseanne.
Let's see, television. Here we go.
Important stuff.
Yeah.
He's on Arrested Development too. That was a good movie, a good show. That's one you might want to check out.
I've seen a few episodes. I didn't love it, but I hate The Office. So I mean, like, my taste is questionable to some people.
I can see that The Office is an acquired taste. The Office is an acquired taste.
Yeah. Well, it seems like
interesting that the two holding
the rail position.
Holding the rail, yeah.
I was gonna say, like, interesting that the 2 is deciding to press the 3, but I mean, how much?
Well, how much do you want to drop back though off the rail too?
I mean, you don't.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
4's got a good hole. 8's, yeah.
Drop my phone.
Were you just so excited about this race that you threw everything?
I am. I wanted to see
46 and 4.
I want to see Charles hit his big one.
Well, at this point, I'm liking my chances to advance.
Who do you have?
3-4.
I would say you got a shot. I don't think Charles is going to get the boom that he was looking for in this race, unfortunately.
No, I will say though, I mean, it's incredible, and I've talked about this on Beamy when I do my tail swisher. Joe K's anti. When I do my wow, look at that.
He's having a field day out there.
Holy cow. When I do my Beamy thing, I didn't do it as much in 2021. Shame on me, but in 2020, I was looking at part of my keeping track of how I bet and winning and losing and all that was I would mark down like when I actually bet. So was I watching like this in the moment? Was I?
You wrote down what you were doing?
Not like doing to the minute, but like, oh, home alone with the kids, at the office, at the track, like that. And I found that if I wasn't playing the races as they were going in the gate, my ROI suffered. And this is the type of race to me is a perfect example of that because I was, do I play, do I not? We had the discussion where maybe the 7 is the one to press the 3. He scratched. And to me, that was like the final variable where I was like, all right, I'm just going to play the 3 and 4 and not use anyone else.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's still 4 races to go. And by no means am I through it at all. But I mean, I cut my ticket in half by using 2 of the 4 instead of the 4 I would have used. It's just, I think a lot of players don't realize what an edge that is over the competition if you're right there with everyone, with the computers and stuff, making your bet as they go in the gate.
I think it's a fair point. Sometimes those last minute decisions or really like watching and paying attention up to the moment of what's going on, it gives you a significant edge. Like I've been playing like a couple of different competitions. Like when you have the opportunity to be like, oh, this horse scratched, or oh, they were taken off the turf and you get to switch your picks or like, oh, whatever the case may be. How many people do you think are just like, they lock in and they go do something else all day and they don't watch a single race and they come back to it later and like, oh, no, like I could have changed something. It's like, if you're paying attention the whole time, I think you have a significant edge over people that kind of just like make their picks and then go away and go do something else. I mean, it's nice that they have a life.
Depends.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it depends. I've had it work both ways, where I've gotten off horses that I shouldn't have because of that and lost. And then, obviously the other way where I have gotten on good horses doing that. So I'm kind of torn.
Yeah, I think changing my mind last minute never really works out for me. But I think that if I wasn't going to play something and then I decide to last minute, then that can significantly help.
No, CJ, I do not. I don't know if CJ saw earlier what I said about so many other places for the birds to be that they just magically wanted to ruin CJ's day, unfortunately.
Well, I saw Shu blame CJ.
Well, that's always a possibility.
Other
I
bird.
don't know.
Was it a swan or a goose? That was
Both.
a swan.
I think it was a swan. Yeah,
That's
swan and a
pretty big.
flamingo. But I think it was just punishment for CJ not coming to see the horse live in person.
And he'll be there in a few days for the sale, right?
Yeah.
He can tell us for sure, I guess. Not that we all
Yeah,
know
I'm pretty
his,
sure he is.
his travel schedule, but
Just gonna go out on a limb and say he's gonna be there, and he's definitely gonna be there for Florida Derby. So
one of my favorite racetrack memories, which really didn't happen at the racetrack right after being at the races, but CJ rode in my minivan from Churchill Downs, and we went to Red Robin and had a meal together.
bottomless fries.
Bottomless fries. I got a milkshake.
That
It
is
was
a good place to eat.
It was tasty.
Yeah, I'm here for it. There was a Red Robin near me in Massachusetts that was like 10 minutes away. Only went like a couple of times, but every time it was a good time.
Yeah.
Maybe I forgot to ask, what part of Massachusetts are you from? Because that's
So I'm
my
not actually
old,
originally
like,
from Massachusetts.
oh,
I grew
okay.
up in the Hudson Valley region in New York, in a super small town called Red Hook. And then I moved to Massachusetts to go to college. So I went to Becker, which is now closed. And then I just stayed in the area for the past 8 years or so. But I was in Worcester primarily. I spent one summer in Northampton taking a job there, but then I went
Nice.
right back to Worcester. So
Wait,
Yeah,
your
Worcester's
college
where-
closed?
yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know colleges closed.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do from time to time.
Wow.
they did. But it got some of my most recent student loans paid for. So
Really?
yeah.
Nice.
You don't owe anyone or
Well, it was like a inconvenience type of thing. So like I had already finished my bachelor's degree and I went back for a couple of classes because I was finishing up my prereqs to apply to vet school, and all of those federal loans are just
wow.
I wish it would happen to the rest of them.
Wow.
Maybe someday, but
Worcester. Yeah.
yeah.
I got recruited heavily by Holy Cross. A lot of those schools
Yeah.
over
I
there.
used to
Holy
live like
Cross,
10 minutes from there.
Clark
Mm-hmm.
University. What's the other one? There's a few. There's a lot
It's
of
a big
colleges in
college
that area.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big college state.
Well, yeah. But I mean, you think of Boston, you don't really always think of Worcester.
I think of Amherst.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amherst College.
Well, Amherst College, which
UMass
I did not
Amherst.
get into, but yeah, UMass Amherst.
Yeah, there's all the
My
UMass.
nephew went to Amherst.
Really?
Yeah.
Smart kid.
Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
they gave me the Heisman.
It's a tough school to get into. It's not very big either.
Yeah, I mean, I went to like teeny tiny private school, and that's the only one I applied to. So,
Becker.
yeah.
Remember the show, Ted Danson?
Oh yeah, Becker.
You and Barry should just have your own show.
Our own show talking about shows.
Yeah.
Springfield. It's also the Basketball Hall of Fame's in Springfield.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
What does home of the handgun mean? They invented there?
No, he means that Springfield is a place that you don't want to be outside late at night.
And it's close. It's close to UMass Amherst also. So
Yeah, I've been to Springfield a couple times. It's not the
Smith
same.
and Wesson.
I'm seeing a couple things, and I definitely get the angst about the birds, and that's not really kind of the deal when you play a race. I don't think that would have been a no contest at Churchill. Really, any track. I think
No,
that's.
I think that there was clearly some horses that were impacted by it, but they wouldn't, not enough to be declared a no contest.
Right.
Just extremely bad luck. That's really all it comes
and it's
down
just
to.
like, it's also like, we couldn't just take a look and be like shooing the birds away before the race starts.
Well, Pete could have said, "Watch out, Goose."
I mean, you should have given a warning to these birds on the loudspeaker. God, if only they.
I can't believe they were out there. That like never
Speaking of
happened.
Pete, before we get to this final race of our live stream, start of the late pick 4, we do have these words from the University of Arizona.
We have 2 more races to cover too. Oh, actually, because they're on a delay, maybe not.
Yeah, I
Just
made
one
some
more.
promises.
Yeah, that's fine.
Your career in horse racing off to a fast start? The University of Arizona's racetrack industry program is your winning ticket. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the racetrack industry program can put you in the winner's circle. Your career in
Oh,
Like,
run it again.
Hey now. No,
like, that's a little excessive.
we have a 4-minute